Так, я вернулся. И продолжаем погоню за нашим такси. Сейчас попробую не обосраться.
Stops is she gonna make?
You got a pretty funny idea of what keeping a low profile means, Phelps.
Ну, таксист медленный, капец, конечно. И как мне мимо вас? Блять, поехали. Здесь на поворотах очень опасно. Блядь, опять спалит. Ну не пали ты меня, ну. Отлично. Хорош.
That bitch is giving me what I'm owed. That's all I know.
Она кругами походу катается. Задолбала по маленьким улицам ездить, ну.
Now would be a bad time to forget how to drive. Pull over. She's heading inside. I think I just saw Hammond. I'll tail him. You get in there and stay with Candy. Make sure you don't let her see you.
That cherry pie was delicious.
Get the facts first. You can distort them later.
Wilshire Center bus 162 will now depart on the half hour.
Isn't he the cop they've been talking about?
Понятно. Ой, блин. Как я эти слежки ненавижу.
Pull over. She's heading inside. I think I just saw Hammond. I'll tail him. You get in there and stay with Candy. Make sure you don't let her see you.
Blueberries all around, y'all.
Hey, buddy. You dropped something?
The next bus to New York will leave in 5 minutes.
Mister, a man like you always loses a battle of wits because you're unarmed.
Isn't that the cop who caught the guy who was
Anybody has lost a pair of red leather gloves.
If that heel won't buy me something nice,
О,
I'll
блин.
find someone.
Call an ambulance.
Hammond got away.
He said
Just try and sit still, Candy.
make
Who
me
shot you?
pay.
Was it Albert?
Car.
They're on the way. I have a patrolman searching the depot. The chief's putting together a manhunt for Hammond. He got the money, right?
Looks like it.
A tough bird, our limey friend. Using his girlfriend as the bag woman and then getting greedy over the split. He won't make it out of town.
That's how you see it?
I told you that cocksucker was a crook.
Ну, давай осмотр делать. Чего уж делать.
.32 caliber. One shot fired. The Egyptian Theater.
So, what now?
Theater, I guess. Don't have much else to go on.
Ну, погнали. Ну, блять, выход с другой стороны. Где моя машинка? Ну, сейчас подъеду. Этого же надо еще взять. Ну ты чё, ну... О. Бля, а чё мы в театре найдем?
Poor girl. She didn't deserve that.
Poor girl. Half the precinct aren't taking a vacation this year because of her. You need to leave town a lot quicker than that if you decide to screw over Mickey C.
This seems like a long shot. Aren't they all?
Car 11K, Car 11 King, come in.
Car 11 King.
Message from the coroner. The cause of death was a knife wound. Repeat, a knife wound. Revolver appears to have belonged to the victim.
Son of a
KGB all clear.
bitch. He stabbed her.
I thought you said real men use their fists, not guns.
That guinea cocksucker. You think he got the money too?
Come on, Roy. We're bringing this whole tragedy to its conclusion.
Ну, согласен. Надо это дело раскрыть уже.
Why'd you kill her, Carlo? Your gripe was with me.
She was collecting the money for you. Mickey made it clear it was either me or you, and I intend to keep on living.
She stole those betting slips. She was running out on me.
And you were gonna let her?
No, I let her collect. I set her up, just like she set me up. Just like my manager set me up. Everyone wanted me to take a dive. Everyone wanted me to take the short money. It's for the best, kid.
You were washed up, kid! You couldn't climb, and you were too brave to sink. You were going nowhere!
Maybe, but I had heart. I was a Royal Marine, Carlo. If I lost a fight, it wasn't for lack of trying, and it wasn't for lack of courage. I didn't have much, but I had that.
I did it for you, and that's how you repay me!
You did it for yourself, so did little boy. You did it to make a quick buck, and Candy did it to make her dream come true.
Blah, blah, blah. I've got the money, all I need to do is get rid of you. It's gonna be a shame, kid, but that's business.
We've heard enough, Arcaro. Put down your weapon. You're making a big mistake, Arcaro.
Come on, Cole. Carlo's a dead man. Hammond too when I find him.
Throw out the guns.
Ох, нихуя там. Что-то они из тяжелого стреляют. Ну как мне туда попасть? Ой, это уже наверху. Бля, ты быстро.
You're clear, go! You're covered, Phelps. Take cover, you lunatic.
А, это наш, что ли? Что я в своего стрельнул, блин. Извини, братан, я не признал. Сука, шляпу ему отстрелил.
It's time to come out now, Hammond.
Put the gun down, Roy.
That son of a bitch owes me a lot of money.
Catch. Escania sails from New York, Hammond. Be on the next train and don't ever come back.
Why?
Because I was a Marine and I once lacked courage. Everyone deserves a second chance. Now beat it.
Fuck you! That English prick is getting away with my money, Phelps!
I'm hearing rumors of a fight that was fixed, of gangsters looking to get square, that LAPD cops might be involved. Either of you two sons of bitches know anything about that?
No, sir.
So, the dead wop who turned up in this theater, who used to be a boxing manager, who murdered Candy Edwards, has nothing to do with the fix?
Absolutely not.
Earl, you're doing venereal disease citations until you can learn to stop lying to me. Phelps, got anything to add?
No, sir.
Get your uniform from your locker. You're back on the street.
Ой, что-то босс недоволен. Чуть-чуть мы проебали. Блин. Ну ладно.
.187 at 5810 Murata Avenue. Homicide wants you over there. The coroner thinks the broad was whacked using the army morphine. Don't say anything, Roy. Just get over there.
The thing was, he was a real nice guy. I felt lousy collaring him.
Опять морфин. Ну ладно.
That getup of yours anyway. I should start introducing us as Detective Earl. This is my science teacher, Mr. Phelps.
Это вроде как последняя миссия в этом отделе, скажем так.
We're a dysfunctional couple now. People judge me with you on my arm the same way they would a fat broad with a 5 o'clock shadow.
I really hope you're joking, Roy.
Давай разгребать очередное говно.
Seem distracted.
We recovered the morphine. Some of it might be unaccounted for, so what? That's life. We did our job.
Closing one case opens another.
Do you have any idea what is really going on while we're wasting our time following this stuff?
Are you going to tell me?
Deals being done right now will change the face of LA forever, and we're wasting our time on some hump.
Someone's little girl.
Visit the morgue at the end of the month when the John and Jane Does are cremated. Their percentages. The odds for and against lightning striking.
Any in the vicinity officer needs assistance. 1825 North Highland Avenue, 1825 North Highland Avenue. Unit to handle code 2 identify.
Second floor. Apartment 6. In the back.
Thanks. Bukowski, you made homicide.
That I did. Good to see you, Phelps.
You two want a hug? Or can we get on with it?
Relax, Rusty.
26 years old, fashion model. Found in the tub by the cleaning lady, Mrs. Reynoldson. She called it in.
We heard Carruthers thinks...
Carruthers likes to make work for people. Overdose of sleeping pills. Falls asleep in the tub. Rest in peace. Case closed.
Here, here. Mal is 100% that it's murder.
Do you mind if I take a look around?
Sure. Go right ahead. Phelps?
Mal, we've had a look around. Rusty thinks it's a waste of time. What's your theory?
Come on, Mal. Tell us why we were dragged down here.
If the victim was alive when she entered the tub, water would have entered her lungs. The water is violently churned in the windpipe as she drowns. The result is that a lot of foam is generated. This foam is found at the mouth and nostrils in almost all cases of real drowning. Notice anything about our Vic?
May I take a look?
Be my guest. Take a closer look at her head and neck.
Very unusual ring.
Could be wrong, but it looks like a black sapphire.
The neck is bruised pretty badly.
Junk.
Miss Julie was...
Pretty girl like that? Maybe she was having trouble with some boys, huh? Maybe she got her heart broken. Couldn't take it anymore. So she ran herself a bath and down some pills and then...
Quality English smoking jacket. I don't know anyone under 45 who would wear one.
Julie, she always had so much fire. So much drive.
Looks like barbiturates.
barbiturates. What else is rattling around in this thing?
Опа-на. Вот это уже интересно.
We should speak to a doctor. Prescribing both drugs would make her life a roller coaster.
Так, ну здесь больше вроде ничего. Осталось только эта комната. Ну, на кухне-то ладно. Ух, сука. О, блять, утюг какой, да?
She was so beautiful and so young. Can you leave me alone now?
This is all top end of town stuff. Gives us somewhere to look.
Так, стоп. Ничего. Значит, за другой фотографией что-то будет.
Been a modeling assignment.
Ух, ебать. А по телефону, не? Нет. Ладно.
I'll say hello to the skipper for you. For now, follow up on the narco angle.
Ну, пошли вниз. Сейчас определимся, куда мы направимся. Надо размотать это дело. Ну дай так к машине-то мне подойти. Давай в магазин одежды сначала. Сейчас мы этого дебила дождемся.
All units in the vicinity and any central unit. Citizen reports of 415 at 7th and Central. Unit to handle code 2, identified.
lying. Your lips are moving.
Well, hello. What can I help you with today?
LAPD, ma'am.
I hope I haven't done anything wrong.
No, ma'am. We're making some inquiries about Julia Randall. Does she work here?
No, I had to let her go. Is she in some sort of trouble?
She was found dead this morning. How long had Julia worked as a model?
Well, she worked in New York before coming here. She was a very beautiful girl.
Could you tell us why you let Miss Randall go?
Husbands sometimes come in here with their wives. When Julia Randall modeled, the husbands were often more interested in her than they were their wives' dresses. The wives weren't happy, and neither was I.
Did she have any close friends here?
Actually, yes. Heather Swanson. Would you like to speak with her?
I'd like that very much. Please don't inform her about Miss Randall's death.
Very well, officer. Heather, these gentlemen are from the LAPD.
I'm Detective Phelps. This is Detective Earl. I understand that you worked with Julia Randall, Miss Swanson?
Yes. Julia helped me get my job here. She's not in any kind of trouble, is she?
She's a hellraiser, isn't she? Lives a fast life.
Oh, no. Maybe Mrs. Stanley would call her that, but I wouldn't. She's full of life, a wonderful company.
That's a lovely engagement ring.
Do you like it? Henry gave it to
I'm
me.
very interested in engagement rings. Do you mind if I take a closer look? That's some pearl, Miss Swanson. Would have cost Henry a fortune. He must really love you. How did you meet Julia?
I was introduced through my fiancé, Henry Arnett.
Henry is your beau. Tell us about it.
Yes, he is. Henry has a fashion business. He and Julia have been friends for years.
That's all for now, Miss Swanson. Could you ask your fiancé to visit Hollywood Police Station? It would be very helpful to our inquiry.
Now, wait a moment. I don't think I'll pass on that message until you tell me why you're asking all these questions.
Julia Randall was found dead this morning.
What? Oh, no. Oh, I can't believe it. She was so full of life.
Ну, вот так вот. Уверенно пообщались. Хорошо. Так, а куда поедем? О, в клинику поехали.
Nice move not telling old Sweet Lips in there about her friend taking the big jump till we were half out the door. Very slick.
I figured we'd get more out of her that way.
You're learning, Phelps. We'll make a vice cop out of you yet.
Here, Stoneman, office 505.
I swear, if we locked up every doctor in this town, Vice would be able to work half days.
Капец, тут ремонт, конечно.
LAPD. We'd like to see Dr. Stoneman.
Dr. Stoneman is with a patient. Would you like to wait?
No, we wouldn't. Tell him we want to see him now.
There's no need to be rude.
Save it, sister.
Dr. Stoneman, I have some gentlemen from the LAPD here to see you.
Send them in, please. I'll see this patient again after they've left.
Your investigation is much more important than...
Dr. Stoneman, we are investigating the death of one of your patients, Julia Randall.
I'm very sorry to hear that.
Do you mind if we ask you some questions about Ms. Randall?
Not if it doesn't compromise doctor-patient privilege, Detective.
How well did you know Miss Randall?
Barely at all. She'd only been a patient 6 months or so.
She was disturbed, though.
Well, not in the conventional sense. She had trouble sleeping.
А чё не угадал-то?
You wrote Julia Randall a prescription for Benzedrine. How can you account for that?
Miss Randall was in the fashion business. She wanted to control her weight.
Benzedrine is addictive, as I'm sure you know, Doctor.
As I warned her, but she was determined. She said she needed it to control her appetite.
Sounds like you knew her pretty well.
I knew the line of work she was involved in.
That'll be all for now, Dr. Stoneman. We'll be in touch.
Ну ладно. Ебать, вас тут сколько. Так, и что дальше?
The old boy is lying.
About what?
I don't know. He looked relieved when you said she was dead. It's a strange reaction to have to the death of a young patient.
Угу. Там все сделал, там все сделал. Блять. Значит, что-то не осмотрел. Блять.
Have you noticed how Croakers only pull out the physician-patient privilege card when they got something to hide?
There are certain things people have a right to keep private.
Until it gets in the way of police work. And it's only private when it suits them. A couple of drinks and every doctor I've met will spill your darkest secrets in a heartbeat.
Any available unit, the 44 suspect to be taken into custody at Sunset and Ivar. Unit to handle code 2 identified.
Killed someone!
Ну давай думать, что я еще не досмотрел. Возможно, с кем-то не дообщался.
Come on, Phelps. Even Roy looks like he's working. Get on with it.
Чё я, сука, упустил? Ну, давай последнюю посмотрим.
Beautiful girl. Clothes certainly aren't from the Sears catalog.
I was going to scrub the bathroom. And there she floated. I really can't talk about this anymore.
Ну, поварёшка, ладно.
Not everything here is going to be relevant.
Все посмотрим. Так, ну только смотрели. Ладно. Бля, что я упустил? Сюда он не идет. Ну тут только эту хрень.
Not sure this means much.
Здесь же больше нет ничего.
Bruising on the forearms, and these look like bite marks.
Very good. The eyes are a classic sign of
Ёб
morphine.
твою
The
мать.
bruises tell their own story. I think one man held her down and another held her arm and injected her. They put her in the bath to try to cover it as a drowning.
It spread a trail of barbiturates.
Take a look around outside on your way out and see if you can find the syrettes. It would make my theory.
The morphine would have been very quick, and there wouldn't have been much of a struggle.
Okay, so find two guys who recently bought syrettes and weren't junkies, and you might be onto something.
А теперь, походу, надо ее расспрашивать, да?
I'm Detective Phelps. I'm here to try and help Julia. Do you mind answering some questions?
Virginia Reynoldson, I'm just so shocked. I feel like there's something I should be doing, someone I should call.
We can make those calls, ma'am. Who needs to be notified?
That's just it. I don't know. Miss Julie doesn't have any family in town. Someone has to set her affairs in order. Mr. Henderson, maybe? Who else is there? I don't know.
If you give the details to the other detectives, ma'am, they can try and get in contact. Was Miss Randall depressed about something? Upset?
No more than normal.
What are you hiding here, Mrs. Reynoldson? Julia was obviously disturbed about something.
I have no idea what you're talking about.
Знает о нас. Все.
If you were any kind of a detective, you would be trying to blame all this on Miss Julia.
Не угадал, ладно.
Did Miss Randall have many friends visit?
I'm not sure. I only come around twice a week.
Сомнения.
Men friends, Mrs. Reynoldson. Spill it.
I will not spread gossip about Miss Julia. She was very nice to me.
I don't care if she was the Virgin Mary's sister. Who was she humping? You changed the sheets.
You're disgusting. If you're going to take that tone, I won't answer any more questions.
Блядь.
What was it like working for Miss Randall?
Perfectly fine, officer.
Mrs. Reynoldson, it seems like there's something you want to tell me.
She was very high-strung. Lovely one moment and screaming at you the next. She wanted it all, and she wanted it damn quick. Of course, being so beautiful, it seemed like she was going to get it. Not the way it's turned out, though, is it?
I know you're trying to protect Julia, Mrs. Reynoldson, but it won't help us solve the case. Julia can't be hurt anymore.
Так, появился телефон.
operator. Message for KGPL.
Putting you through now.
Phelps, badge 1247.
How could I help, Detective?
Messages, please.
Yes, Detective. The coroner's been asking to speak to you. I can connect the call if you like.
Please, thank you. Al?
Cole, can you get over here? I just finished the autopsy.
Sure thing, Mal. We'll be right over.
Ну ладно, хотя бы не тупик. Уже хорошо.
Stefan, Rusty, we'll take a look around outside and then follow up these leads. Can you get some guys to run down the jacket?
You think Carruthers has called it right?
He rarely gets it wrong.
I don't know. I'm a Galloway. I've met enough girls in my time who can't handle their dope.
Capitol Hill in Washington is again the nation's focal point as the 80th Congress convenes during one of the most crucial periods in the nation's history. Following the Republican landslide of 1946, the GOP now...
You idiot! Bukowski, Galloway, quite the little reunion in there. Almost brought a tear to my eye.
They're good police.
How would you know? You got promoted so fast you barely had time to learn their names. Let me fill you in. Bukowski's a pushover. Galloway's a drunk.
You could learn a thing or two from both of them.
Please. They couldn't work a vice case if their life depended on it.
I don't see why they'd be any better or worse at it than me.
I know. What are you doing? I noticed you said better. Hubris disguised as humility. Kind of your trademark, don't you think?
Why do you always twist everything? Galloway's got nothing to prove. He's been on homicide for years.
And he's welcome to it. You're a terrier, Phelps, and that's what I need. Not some old bulldog who can't get up a flight of stairs without coughing off his lunch.
Cole, Roy, I have some information for you.
You're the only person enjoying this, Mal. Get on with it.
The bruising confirms 2 sets of hands, so we have 2 killers. Death was caused by heart failure due to an overdose of morphine.
Have you dragged us down here to gloat? We already heard your theory.
We agree that she was murdered.
Yes, of course.
I have something else to show you.
All right, Mal, what gives?
The dead guy's name is Jimmy LeBlanc, career burglar. He came in this morning. Someone stove his head in with a lump of 2x4.
So what? Good riddance.
I found 2 cigarettes in his jacket pocket.
Wow.
Hang on a minute, Roy. We're listening, Mal.
No sign of morphine use and no metabolized morphine in his blood. Scratch marks on his face.
Which could be from getting his head remodeled.
Time of death, Mal.
Maybe an hour or 2 after the Randall girl.
So you're saying Laughing Boy here could be one of our killers? That's a hell of a long shot.
Thanks, Mal. We'll check it out.
I found something else.
Sorry, I don't play.
I don't know if it's significant. His wallet was empty. The only other things he was carrying were the harmonica and the morphine. Carruthers. Yeah, he's here. I'll send him over. They have a guy called Henry Arnett in interview 2 for you next door. Let me know how you get on.
Sure, Mal. And thanks for the lead.
Sure, Mal. Thanks for the lead.
А тема раскручивается все больше и больше. Все интереснее и интереснее. Ёп. Я ж прям здесь. Че, он здесь, что ли?
Arnett is in interview too, Phelps. Go help him get whatever it is off his chest.
Mr. Arnett, I'm Detective Phelps. This is Detective Earl. Thanks for coming in.
Call me Henry. It's the least I could do. Terrible news about Julia.
How well did you know Julia Randall?
Vaguely. I'm in the clothing business, and Julia occasionally modeled for me.
Вот сука.
Come clean with us, Arnett. Was Miss Randall your mistress? Is that how she could afford such a lavish lifestyle?
That's a ridiculous allegation. How could you possibly prove that I paid for Julia's things?
Алис улик на месте. Ночь
We
колечко.
were strictly business. Julia and I came from different social backgrounds.
Нет, иначе не угадал.
Miss Randall's landlady said she was seeing an older man.
Could have been. I wasn't privy to all the details of Julia's private life.
Вот тут сомнения.
Spill it, Henry. You know nothing about a man named Henderson?
Yes, you're right. Henderson, yeah. Very distinguished.
How about a first name, wise guy? An address, maybe?
I'm sorry, I don't. I think he lives somewhere out of town. Somewhere back east.
Блять.
Ever heard of a Jimmy LeBlanc?
No. Should I have? Is he an entertainer or something?
Давай сомнения.
So you wouldn't have any reason to believe that LeBlanc would be involved in Julia Randall's murder?
If this guy is a criminal, he might have been involved. But like I said, I've never heard of this LeBlanc character.
Heather told us that you were in fashion.
That's right.
Ну хоть один, ладно.
This guy was willing to rat his own mother after I'd sweated him.
You're some kind of traveling salesman?
Once I got out of the Corps, I used my...
You were in the Marines?
Sure. I'm proud of it. Fighting 6th.
You were in the 6th Marines?
Yes. I was a captain.
Which company?
Various companies. We had a lot of casualties.
Which engagements?
Okinawa. A couple of other places.
That will be all for now, Henry. You've been very helpful.
That son of a bitch was never in the Marines. Why'd you let him off the hook?
Because we're giving him a couple of minutes before we start tailing him. Arnett is an amateur. We need to find out who killed the girl. Can you pass this on to Bukowski? Have him check the place out and go through his records.
Sure, I'll pass it on.
Thanks. Can you also have R&I run the records on a Jimmy LeBlanc and find out who was his last arresting officer? Have them get in touch via KGPL when they have some information.
He's in that car at the lights.
Опять слежка, сука. Ой, блядь.
He was squirming like a worm in there. Don't you love it when they pull the war hero excuse? Actually, maybe you don't.
Не понял. Он другой. Он кто это? У него резвая машина.
I'd have expected a cad like Arnett to be a better liar.
Can you quit driving like a jackass already?
Так, аккуратно, аккуратно, блядь.
Where are you taking us, Henry?
Ну это хотя бы шустрее движется. Не то, что таксист, блин. А долго будем ехать? А то у меня поджимает чуть-чуть время-то.
God damn it. Everyone's looking at us, Cole.
That idiot never stepped foot in Okinawa.
Ну, еще и врезаться нельзя. Ох, вы разработчики. Ну, уже приехал. Отлично.
He needs money and fast. Get in there and find out what he pawned. I'll stick with him, see how he intends to spend the money. Move in. Can't risk losing the trail.
Hoof it, Phelps. I'll bring the car around when I'm done here.
Вот, мне опять следить. Ох уж эти ваши слежки. Да вижу я тебя. Ебать. Да нет меня там.
Too much slack. Get closer.
Ты эти тоймы. Сука. Ну я почти. Ладно, эту слежку мы оставим тогда на следующую серию уже. А чё прям отсюда?
Get in there and find out what he wants. I'll stick with him, see how he intends to spend the money. Move in. Can't risk losing the trail.
Hoof it.
Ну все, на этом я остановлюсь. Продолжу слежку в следующей серии уже.